Well, hello dear! Welcome back to another random video. Well, this one's less random, it's more intentional, which is rare. Intentional videos are rare for me. I'm pretty random. So, I'm Canadian, right? Currently living in the UK. I've been here for... two cars! That's scary. I've currently been here for like, at this date, 7-8 months or something like that, 9 months. And I think it's time I come on and discuss some things that I've noticed, some differences between Canadian living and UK living, England particularly. The culture is quite different out here, actually. I have been surprised. There's been lots of little things. Obviously driving on the left side of the road is one of the major differences, which I haven't had a problem with, if I'm being honest. I've never struggled. Only a couple times have I pulled out at like a gas station on the back roads, which is expected, and nearly gone on the wrong side, but then I realized, oh wait, I'm on the wrong side. That's like probably the biggest difference. But there's a lot of little things, little things that just separate the cultures. It's been very interesting to explore. There's another guy he's actually from the US, but he said the language is the same, but the culture is different. And I think that is very true. The language is basically the same. Obviously the accent's very different, but it's English still. So you think, everyone speaks English, can't be that different. But it is. It's quite different. One thing, a biggest, I think, cultural shock, if you will, it is the drinking culture out here. The drinking culture in the UK is definitely, it's more so than in Canada. I mean, I think a big part of it is everything's walkable out here. Everything's very accessible. Like in Canada, it's a lot harder to walk from pub to pub unless you're in the right spots. And drinking is a big part of the culture in this country. So when I say that, when you go to like a grocery store, this shocked me, right? It doesn't matter what grocery store, any type of grocery store in the UK, big, small, there's always an aisle dedicated to alcohol. The small little corner stores, there's always an aisle dedicated to alcohol. The big grocery stores, there's usually about 3 aisles dedicated to alcohol. Mind-blowing. See, in Canada that doesn't happen. There's liquor stores, right? In Canada, dedicated liquor stores. You have to actually go into a liquor store to buy your alcohol. But in the UK, it's grocery stores have it. Gas stations have it. Every store you can imagine has an aisle full of alcohol. Every type too. Hard liquors are just sitting out front in a grocery store. And I was a bit surprised when I first came. I went into a grocery store and they were just, oh look at that, I can buy whiskey along with my toilet paper, Hello? My bike's dead. Uh-oh. Bike is dead. Well, this is good. Am I out of gas? Already. Hello? Where's my gas button? That's probably what it is. Well, that'll do it. So, we need to get gas. This bike doesn't have a gas gauge. What was I talking about? Stores and alcohol. But I work with a bunch of like young teens, right? Some girls that are quite barely 18. And they're already going out all the time drinking. It's ingrained in the culture. It's fascinating, really. And there is still pubs on every corner. There's definitely a lot more pubs than where I'm from. And I don't know, it's kind of cool. I still can't get over the alcohol in grocery stores. It's kind of weird to me. But when you think about it, it makes sense in this culture. I feel like just the general attitude out here is different than Canada as well. I'm not sure how you would describe like just the attitude. People do like to complain. I feel like you find that everywhere. Canadians are very friendly. I mean, people here too, and they say, "Oh, I've been to Canada. The people are great." It is true. Canadians are friendly. I find British people, if you take the time to talk and smile at them and be nice to them, they're very friendly. But generally, walking around, there's less. They seem less friendly, you know. That's just what I've kind of come up with. I almost like there's more discontentment. But I think they just don't. They try not to come across as happy, you know. Does that make any sense? Like in Canada, well, I'm from a place where weed is very legal. It's completely legal. So when I say Canadians are friendly and happy, that's why. But everyone's just high all the time. It brings up morale, I guess. I don't know. In terms of driving, they seem to really let you in the UK here. Like when they come up to an intersection, I've had people stop in the middle of a busy road and let me on, which I'm a little bit, I don't know how I feel about that, but scary. They seem, driving they seem very nice here, almost more so. Like Canada, they are nice, but more aggressive, which makes sense because it's bigger. There's more space, more room, and you got to drive further. Here everything's so tight, you can't really be aggressive. You have to be nice because the streets are so skinny. If you don't let anyone in, you'll never move. But in Canada, you can be a bit more aggressive. I think that definitely plays a part. But that's just my general overview of England in general. That's kind of how I'm feeling about the people out here. A very annoying thing in the UK that I've discovered is any type of liquid bottles. Okay, water bottles, juice bottles, pop bottles. Caps don't come off of anything. Milk jugs, water bottles, the caps stay on. Environment thing. It actually drives me nuts, okay? I don't know who thought that was a good idea. You can't drink a water bottle without getting your cap piercing your nose. It's it's a little bit annoying. The juice cartons out here, okay? I work in a cafe. There's a lot of traffic. And I gotta pour these juice cartons sometimes. The absolute worst possible design you can imagine. I have yet to successfully open one without spilling. I don't know, like they look similar to the ones in Canada, but you can't get into them. Okay, 60% of the time the cap just peels off. The rest of the time you do get it open, juice pours everywhere. They don't seal, so you go to shake it and the juice just sprays around. I've never successfully opened one without either ripping the top off or spilling it everywhere. And I work in a cafe, so I've poured lots of juice and opened lots, but it's never been successful. Pet peeve, that's something that's really annoying. See, caps come off in Canada still. I don't know how long that'll last for. And while I'm on the topic of drinks, one thing that's less popular here than in Canada is black coffee. Like just drip. Your general drip coffee. Obviously that's a staple in Canada. Drip coffee. Tim Hortons is everywhere. Famous for it. In Canada, you go to Timmy's, right? And you'd order a double-double, which would be a double cream, double sugar, and a drip coffee. Here, first you gotta find a place that has drip coffee. Then you gotta find a place that has cream, because 99% of the time it's milk that's served with coffee on the side if you order a coffee. It's usually an Americano because drip coffee's pretty rare. 90% of the time I'd say it's gonna be an Americano. That's gonna be your black coffee type thing, Americano, and it'll be with milk because they just don't do cream in this country. Well, they do cream, but it's not as popular. Like, you have to specifically ask for cream. You're not going to go to a coffee shop and ask for a double-double and get... A double-double doesn't exist. I think if you went and asked for double-double, they'd look at you a bit odd. That's another... It's just small things like that, right? Different cultural things that you don't really think of, but if you live in either place, you're just so used to one or the other. It's cool. But I enjoy it. I've enjoyed my time in this country. Don't know how long I'm staying. I'm having a good time. I love running out of gas on it. Seems like a thing I do normally now. I have successfully acquired gas. I put in the higher fuel too. I just to test. Actually, there's the difference. The fuel out here, the octane, right? You've got 95 and 97, which is insane. 95 is your standard, 97 is premium. That's crazy right there, because in Canada, your standard's like 85 to 87. I don't remember exactly. Premium is 91. You're lucky to find a 94. And out here, your standard's a 95 octane. Like, it's way higher. Premium is 97. So, I mean, I don't really use premium that much. 97's a bit overkill, really. But I figured I'd try it. It's kind of mind-blowing, that difference in fuel. Is Canada just ripping us off with the fuel? I think Canada's just watering it down. You can't even get 95 where I'm from, which is... and that's the standard out here. The difference is insane. Another thing regarding vehicles is the difference in vehicles. Obviously the roads are smaller, so the vehicles are smaller. There's this thing called an MOT in this country, which doesn't exist in Canada. Basically every year you gotta send your vehicle into a shop to get it MOT checked. MOT is basically, it's just a check of the vehicle, you know, you make sure everything's running right, the lights, emissions, all that, everything's good, which is why vehicles in the UK definitely, it feels cleaner with the run, you know, vehicles all run cleaner. They all gotta match their government standards, emissions, this, that, the other thing. Obviously, in Canada, you got the old trucks that are blowing smoke all the time. The same as in the US, I think. You got all these old vehicles blowing smoke, but here, nothing. I mean, they don't even have trucks. I don't barely see any diesel out here. They're definitely ahead of the game emission-wise in this country for sure. And it's definitely to do with the MOTs. Every year you got to take your vehicle, and even bikes are the same. You got to take it in, make sure the tread depth on your tires, your lights all work, and it runs properly, and it's not too loud, and da-da-da-da-da, so everything's boring. Vehicles are all the same out here. They're all small, run efficiently, boring, you know. There's no exciting big trucks blowing smoke in your face, and big loud diesels that are tuned up and loud, and no lifted trucks, because trucks like don't exist. So that's another crazy cultural difference here. I mean, you can't really fit big lifted trucks. You'd get stuck on half the curbs in this country. So one of my favorite things about the UK is most restaurants, cafes, and just anything of the like, dogs are allowed. Like, I went into a proper restaurant type place and they let dogs walk in, sit at the tables. I absolutely adore that. All the cafes I work at, we let dogs in. Puppuccinos are, you know, served. They take care of dogs here and they let them in. Let them into all restaurants, cafes. I love it. So I love that. I mean, it's probably the greatest thing. Take note, Canada. Let the dogs in. Another great thing about the UK, something I think countries should just do, is when you're shopping, tax is just included in the price. If you look at a price of, let's say, milk for like £1.50 or something, I don't know how much milk costs. I don't buy milk. That's like oat milk. That's how much it costs when you get to the till, right? It costs £1.50. However, in Canada, if you buy milk for $5, yeah, you get to the till, it's like $6.50 because of tax that's not included in the price. I don't know why. You should include the tax. So some things feel more expensive when you go to buy it, but then you go to the till and everything feels cheaper because there's an extra $20 of tax thrown on top. I mean, it's there, you just don't see it. Something that I miss from Canada is the 2 fingers down wave, the biker wave, right? We drive on the left here, so there's no it's a nod. It's a boring nod. There's no biker wave. Out here well, first off, there's more bikers, a lot more bikers here. Obviously smaller centers, lane filtering is legal. It makes biking, I think, a little more attractive than in, let's say, Canada, where it's a lot of big highways and roads and a lot less quick little commutes and no lane filtering, so biking is more popular. I mean, I considered for a time going to France if I was going to move. I think the only reason I didn't was the language barrier. I didn't feel like learning a new language. This is why I'm here, because I don't have to learn a new language. Food-wise, okay, something else that I've discovered out here is what was I saying? Hello, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Food. The difference, breakfast particularly. I'm a big breakfast fan. It's probably my favorite meal of the day. But in Canada, there's no such thing. Like, you won't find a British restaurant with British food, except for maybe British fish and chips, right? I've discovered why. British food is boring. Beans. They like a lot of beans. Their breakfast here is beans. Mushrooms, tomatoes. And the bacon. Bacon's different. This is a big difference, right? They do bacon, but the bacon isn't cooked to a volcano temperature like it is in Canada. It's like barely cooked. It's usually whiter. It's not skinny strips of charcoal, which Canada likes to do their skinny skinny strips of charcoal. Streaky bacon is what they call it here. I think there's back bacon and streaky bacon. Streaky bacon is not a word that exists in Canada. When I went to a butcher shop and I asked for bacon, and they were like, streaky bacon, I was like, what? What's that? So I have no clue. I eventually figured out streaky bacon is just bacon, I think. I actually don't really know yet. I think it's just bacon. I don't know why you call it streaky bacon. Omelets don't really exist. I like omelets. The first place that I worked at had an omelet, but then they got rid of it. Haven't seen an omelet since, which is curious. One thing that they have that I like is bacon pancakes. Most cafes will have bacon pancakes, which is just what it says, bacon pancakes with maple syrup. And I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I'm a breakfast nerd. I don't go out for dinner that much, because there's not a lot of, like, there's dinner restaurants, but I feel like there's a lot more pubs than dinner restaurants. And cafes are popular. There's lots of cafes, but maybe it's a small town thing, because where I'm from is a similar thing. Like, there's lots of cafes and breakfast and lunch places, but when dinner comes around, there's a bit less. I feel like that's small town though. Like, there's probably that's still different in like a big center. Here, I haven't eaten out much, so I can't say much on dinner food. I had fish and chips once. It was good, but it was really expensive, and I haven't done it since. It was about £18 for fish and chips. It did include a drink, but when you convert that to Canadian, that's about $30. And you're not really going to find fish and chips in Canada for that much. So, it's hard to justify it. So eating out is a lot more expensive here than in Canada. That being said, minimum wage here is like double Canada. So it kind of balances out. Gas is double the price, but also like double the octane. So I guess that's okay. The biggest cheaper thing here is phone plans. Phone plans in this country are really cheap. Like, you can get unlimited data for £10 a month, which is like 20 Canadian bucks. You can't get unlimited data in Canada for $20. Nowhere. You're looking at like 40, 50, not even, probably more, $80 for unlimited data. So phone plans are really cheap. Groceries are cheaper here, I think, in most of the time, but eating out's a lot more expensive, so I don't do that much. Coffees are more money. The average is around £4 for coffee, which is like $7-8 Canadian, so it's kind of hard to justify buying a coffee, because in Canada you can still get coffees for $2-3, which is like a pound. So it's a lot cheaper to go out in Canada. I feel like it all balances out in the end, you know? Some things will be more, some things will be less. That's why I wasn't really worried about it. I'm sure I'll be doing another video at some point in the future. Now that I've been here for a decent amount of time, I'm slowly becoming part of this culture, which I don't know if I love or not. No, it's been a fantastic experience so far. England, I tell you what, people here are great, so I don't have anything bad to say about the people. But that's it, I think. That's the video. I've never done an outro, so outro. Commence outro. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far through this video, then that's awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed my ramblings on a bike and my findings. I'm sure I'll do more. Exploring cultures it's very interesting. I am planning a trip at the end of the year to Europe, which I plan to record all that. So that'll be fun, but there'll be a video coming on that soon. I need to do there's a wasp. It's going to be a big trip. I'm thinking it's going to be close to 10,000 miles. I don't know if my old bike here will last. I've got like 26,000 miles on this bike, which is a lot. So there's a chance that I break down somewhere in Italy. um, anyway, that's it. I think I'm gonna end the video there. I'm gonna actually do an outro, so thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I love you. No, wait, what?